Timing, accuracy, and power. Three of the ingredients that make up the most definitive and crowd-pleasing ways to claim victory, the knockout. Crowds cry for them, fighters live for those moments. Octagon MMA finished 2022 with a bang. 2023 looks set to be our biggest year ever. This is the first episode of the year, so strap in, because this is Octagon Hype. Welcome. This is Octagon Hype. My name is Bryan Lacey, and give him his real name back. Put it back. Josh Gudgeon. Welcome back, mate. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
What an end to 2022, though. That vlog, and it's up now. It's out now. Go check it out. The vlog for Octagon 38. Because once again, I mean, you look at December alone. Octagon 37, the vlog you did for that, the 7 knockouts, the craziness that came with the Ostrava Arena. Then we were in Prague. 20,000 people. We had Paul Smith, the comedian, friend of the show, come over to do some commentary, but also a little treat that we announced at that event as well. It was magic, mate. And once again, proud of you, proud of your vlog. We're going to go through the knockouts because we love a knockout, don't we? We love a knockout. And the second fight of the night, which was Radovan Uska, he was supposed to fight on the last card, Octagon 37 in Ostrava. He was supposed to take on Al Matavau. Matavau missed weight. Uska said, I'm not fighting him when he's I think he was 96 kilograms or something. So he said, look, I'm going to step away. They then got him this fight on this card against Ollie Magna. Now, Ollie Magna did what a lot of people didn't think he could do, Josh. He hurt Uska on the feet, like badly rocked him. You saw him go back to the cage. The equilibrium was all gone. But I think that punch, as devastating as it seemed to Uska, did something worse to Magna, and it gave him confidence, because then they went toe-to-toe, and Magna, I don't know if he's watched the highlights of Radovan Uska, who has now got 7 first-round wins, 7 first-round knockouts, and it was one hell of a finish, right?
It was unbelievable. Like you said, he was hurt, he was rocked. He jumped on, he ended up in mount, didn't he? He almost went for a guillotine, slipped out. Yeah. So you're looking and you're going, what is going on? Like Mount, like a dominant position, he goes for a submission. But yeah, it just lit a fire in him, and then they just started swinging. And I mean, men that size, like with that sort of power, there's only one way it's going to end. It
was devastating, and it happened right in front of us as well. Like where we were commentating and where you were sat doing the vlog, it was almost touching distance, so you could feel the power, you see it resonate. Let's move on to Lahore. Alex Lahore taking on Juracek, Matos Juracek. Now you witnessed this one next to Oliver Salus, who is a good friend of Juracek, and again the crowd was silenced because this was a great chess match between the two. The long rangy game of Juracek using the outside of the cage, really circling, making it difficult for Lahore. But Lahore, for me, like, he's now linking up with Brad Pickett from Great Britain top team, and his game just evolving and going back down to welterweight as well, where he's had the most success. That was so cool to see him just keep his composure and have faith in his power, because he, I think, who was it? Montignac won the knockout of the night, but for me, I think this one took it. I think Lahore's 3rd round finish, and it was that beautiful overhand right, the adjustments he made to close that range. That for me, that was my knockout of the night, Josh.
I jump up and I've got Oliver next to me. So I'm like screaming. Oliver's just like head in his hands.
To finish the year as he did, and in that way, that's a great moment for Alex Lahore. And he made the most of it as well, because I knew that he had his eyes on this game changer tournament. And then I asked him about it, and this is what he said.
The €1 million tournament in the welterweight division, the division you've had the most success, is upon us in 2023. What have you got to say there? Or is that knockout statement enough?
Yeah, so the boss is right here. Should we ask him, am I in the tournament?
Yeah, you are in the tournament. Congratulations.
So there we have it. Alex Lahore has earned his spot to earn his share of €1 million in this Tipsport Game Changer tournament that kicks off March the 4th in Ostrava. So that sees him now move onwards and upwards. Speaking of moving onwards and upwards, we welcomed a guy called Gustava Lopeze. He took the interim bantamweight title fight against Filip Maček in Maček's home city on 10 days' notice after Magard sustained an injury. And Josh, what a performance this guy put on. I watched all of his fights, all the ones that I could find on either YouTube or anywhere else that you can watch the fights. And I was so impressed with his top game, so impressed with his pressure. And he's only a small dude. I mean, he's a small bantamweight. And I legit think he could make flyweight. I really do think that he would be as equally as good at flyweight as bantamweight. But you said it in your vlog as you were talking it through, watching somebody with that control in that top position and then lock up a submission that gets a tap that quickly from somebody like Filip Maček, that is a statement, right?
It basically said, he's like, I know that I've got the best ground game in the world and I'm glad that I was able to prove it. And I said, absolutely, like it was beautiful to watch. So, like, congratulations, champ. And I think he's ready to go again, isn't he? Like, he barely, I don't even think he took a shot, so.
But it took him one takedown. And again, you look back at Jonas Magard talking about his last fight where he won the title. 22 times Maček went to the ground. And Jonas is angry at himself that he couldn't finish him. Yeah. Lopez, one time. And then his signature move, that guillotine. Yeah. And now he is the interim bantamweight champion. I asked him after the fight if he did have a message for our bantamweight champion Jonas Magard. This is what he had to say.
Well, you got the tap, you got that quickly. You're the interim champion. Our bantamweight champion Jonas Magard is back home watching this, I'm sure. Any message for him down the camera?
Be ready. If we end up fighting each other, it's going to be better pressure than that. You got me on a 10-day notice.
So there you go, Josh. That's what he said. That's me with 10 days notice. 10 days, that's the pressure I bring in 10 days notice. Imagine what it would be like if I get a full fight camp. So let's ask the man who he was talking directly down the camera to. We've got with us now the bantamweight champion, Mr. Jonas SHARK Magard. We left Gustavo giving a message to you down the camera. Have you got a message for Gustavo for the fight that might be next for you?
I think his message was a bit weak, wasn't it? Honestly, in the cage, you know what it was? I think his focus is somewhere else. To be honest, that's what the message that I got when I saw it, because he was like a little bit like, yeah, let's see if we ever face each other, and yeah, just stay ready, you know. So I didn't really feel it, Bryan. I didn't really feel it. Like, I didn't really feel. I feel like his focus is somewhere else. I think his focus is getting back into the UFC, and my focus is to defend my belt. So that's why I want to leave it, and that's cool. It's cool, but just two different visions. You know what I mean? I still feel like I'm in my prime. I still feel like I'm coming up. I still have like things I want to do in this sport. You know. And I'm hungry. I'm very, very hungry. And this, me sitting out and looking at fights like that, just makes me more hungry and more dangerous, because this reminds me of how much I wanted. So yeah, that whole speech is my message.
We announced the project. We brought over one of our friends, a former guest on this podcast, Mr. Paul Smith, comedian extraordinaire, now turning into a pro fighter for 2023. We gave him a little taste as well, because we made the promo, and then Andre and Pavel said, look, let's get a walkout. Let's get him out in front of the Czech and the Slovak fans. It was amazing, Josh, right? So let's have a little look at Andre announcing him and this moment where he got to walk out and feel 20,000 fans.
Paul Smith!
So you're with him, Josh. You came out, right, you prepared with him behind the scenes, then walked out into the arena. What was that like?
Mate, I've still got goosebumps. I've still got goosebumps. It was that good. Like, I mean, he came out to Thunderstruck, which is like one to get everybody happy.
Oh, and the crowd went mad for it as well, right?
They blew the roof off the place.
Blew the roof. Maybe the loudest cheer for a walkout that night, I reckon.
Absolutely. And you can see, like, Paul's just grinning from ear to ear. And at the end of it, he comes up to me and goes,
I smashed that. Yeah, you smashed that. You smashed that.
We are so pleased to welcome Paul Smith.
A lot of I've been lucky enough to have good people around me, good high-level people who will push me, but are not going to break me in half or knock me out or anything like that. So that's been quite good. But I mean, I think it depends on your mindset as well. I've got one of them weird mindsets where I kind of like being the underdog. I kind of like being underestimated. And I can't, it's just, I've been, you get in there and you get crushed, but you come out feeling great for some reason.
And you're doing this for the charity as well. We can talk about this now as well. Weapons down, gloves up, which I almost got wrong in the cage. I almost made it weapons up, gloves down, which some say,
as fluffs go, that would have been a bad one.
That would have been a terrible one, right? As fluffs go. But weapons down, gloves up. Fantastic charity, one that you have very close to your heart. Molly, Meatball Molly McCann, she's one of the patrons, as well as Tony Bellew. Tell us a bit about that again, just so that we can sort of give them a bit of light as well, and the work they're doing.
Well, the idea of it was obviously it's come about. And there's a couple of similar campaigns like No More Knives and things like that in Liverpool. All great campaigns run by great people, and they kind of all work closely together just to try and show young people that there's other ways to go, because there's a lot of it's just escalating. I mean, there's always been problems with it, and there's always going to be problems with crime in cities, but like the amount of young people getting, innocent young people as well, getting killed by knives and guns. It's just it's heartbreaking. It really is. And these charities are getting kids off the streets and showing them, getting them into combat sports, but also helping them. The money goes towards getting them into courses to help them get into meaningful work and the kind of source jobs, and find them, help them that way as well. There's loads of different avenues that they're going down. Just really to stop, just to try and do something to bring these knife and gun crime statistics down, because I think it's, of all the things we can do in this day and age, that's one of the most important, I think.
On top of that, 2023 Octagon MMA are bringing you this, the Game Changer, the Tipsport Game Changer tournament. We've just announced 2 other fantastic names to the tournament as well. Martin van Zuidam, the Dutch champion, will enter the Game Changer tournament for that chance of his share of €1 million. Alongside that, Louis Glisman, I think he's got a record of 9-2. He is stepping into this tournament as well. The interesting little bit of a fact between those two as well is they fought before. Glisman won it, I believe, second round knee bar over Van Zuidam, so they know each other. There is some stuff to settle between those two, and I'm sure they'll have their eye on each other as they try and work their way through the brackets. But that tournament kicks off in Ostrava, March the 4th. All 16 competitors will face off, and that will be the launch of the Game Changer, the Tipsport Game Changer tournament. So now let's take a little look at what is next, where we are heading to next with Octagon MMA. That will go down February 11th. We are going to München, aka Munich in Germany. And look at this card. Look at the prelims alone. We've got Petrashek versus Pavel Langer in there. What a fight that is. You'll see Lozan Kieta, who fought in a Muay Thai fight at Octagon 38. He is coming down to featherweight. He wants that champ status. We have an opponent yet to be named for him, but that's exciting. Keep your eye on that one. And then working all the way through to the feature bout of that preliminary card. Robert Pukac, the legend that is Pukac, will take on debutant Dominic Schrober in our feature bout of the prelims. And then up and onward to the main cards. Look at this. Look at this. Opening it with Lengal versus Diego Sheik. That is a guaranteed banger. James Lewis, the UK's James Lewis, just signed a new contract with Octagon MMA, taking on Niklas Stoltz. Stoltz returning to Octagon. What a fantastic fight that is. And then just look at the co-main and the main event. Popek versus Zavada. Popek called for it. Zavada is stepping out of retirement, giving Germany the fight that they want, that light heavyweight bout. And then Christian Jungwirth will take on De Oliveira. De Oliveira, known for fighting another Christian Eckling, but now Jungwirth will attempt to do what Christian Eckling did in the last fight and try and finish De Oliveira. Again, Josh, look at this though for Jungwirth. Jungwirth is fighting on this card. He is part of the Game Changer tournament on March the 4th. This is the type of beast we are talking about. He is risking that fight or that opportunity with such belief in himself and where he is now and what he can do to Neves that he is going to fight February 11th. Then March 4th, he will fight again in the opening bouts of the Tip Sport Game Changer tournament. You can watch all of the action on oktagon.tv/EN. Go there to get your pay-per-views. You can keep up with all the news, all the updates with us right here at Octagon Hype. Do what you always do. Follow us on social media, spread the word, subscribe to the channel, because we are back next time with another fantastic Octagon Hype.